I found out my wife is a professional assassin. Look, I know this sounds like a movie script, but I swear on my life this is real. My name is Matthew, I'm 34 years old, an accountant at a mid-sized company in Denver, Colorado. Totally normal life. House in the suburbs, golden retriever named Buddy, beautiful wife I met at Whole Foods 6 years ago. Abby is 31, works as a freelance HR consultant, travels a lot for clients. Or at least, that's what I thought. It all started 3 weeks ago when Abby forgot her laptop at home. She was flying to Seattle for a 3-day consultation and called me in a panic from the airport, asking me to bring it to her. Problem was, she had already gone through security. She told me to drop it off with United at the counter and she'd pick it up when she returned. Weird, but okay. Marriage has its odd moments. When I got home, the laptop was on the kitchen table, still open. The screen was locked, but there were several tabs open in the browser. I thought about just closing it without looking, but one tab caught my eye. It looked like a website for professional equipment, but with strange product names. Alpha Silencer Kit, Night Infiltration Set, Discrete Chemical Solution. I figured maybe it was some kind of specialized cleaning equipment for corporate offices. I shut the laptop and took it to the airport as promised, but that image stayed in my head. Abby had always been private about her work, said she had strict confidentiality clauses. I respected that and never pushed, but I started noticing strange things, like how Abby is always in perfect shape, but I've never once seen her work out. She says she runs early in the morning, but I'm an early riser too. And I've never seen her sweaty or in workout clothes. She knows bizarre details about global geography, especially airport security systems and international hotel protocols. I always figured it was just because she traveled a lot. Then there's the fact that she always pays in cash. I never questioned it since she earns well, but really, who walks around with $200 in cash every day? And she has this odd habit of always checking for emergency exits whenever we enter a building. Restaurants, movie theaters, malls. I used to joke that she was paranoid about safety. She'd just laugh and change the subject. But what really got me worried was last week. Abby came back from a trip to Phoenix, got home around 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. She seemed visibly tense, more than I'd ever seen. She said the client was difficult, that she had to handle a complicated termination situation. Seemed normal enough. But while she was in the shower, I got a news alert on my phone. Pharmaceutical executive found dead in Phoenix hotel. Police investigating possible homicide. Could be coincidence, right? Phoenix is a big city, these things happen. But when I showed the article to Abby over breakfast, she went completely pale, said she knew the guy, had worked with him a few times. She was shocked, of course. Who wouldn't be? Still, I started doing the math. Over the past 2 years, Abby had traveled to Dallas. Oil executive died in a strange car accident. Miami, local politician died suddenly of a heart attack at 45, perfectly healthy. Seattle, tech startup CEO died in a hiking accident. Atlanta, corporate lawyer died of a rare case of food poisoning. Too many coincidences. I decided to investigate. I know it's a violation of privacy, but I was losing my mind. When Abby left on Saturday to buy groceries, I went through her closet. In the back, behind her shoes, I found a small suitcase I'd never seen before. Inside were passports, 3 valid U.S. passports, all with Abby's photo, but under different names: Jennifer Matthews, Michelle Roberts, Amanda Chen. There was more. Credit cards matching each identity, driver's licenses from different states, and an absurd amount of cash. I did a quick count, at least $50,000 in $100 bills. And in the side compartment, wrapped in black cloth, was what I can only describe as a very strange toolkit. Small vials of liquids, syringes, some electronic devices I couldn't identify. I took photos of everything with my phone and put it all back exactly as it was. My head was spinning. I tried to rationalize, maybe she works for the government, some kind of agency, maybe she's high-level corporate security, but a professional assassin? That's movie stuff. Then, on Monday, while Abby was working from home, which basically means she stays locked in a spare room with a desk and a computer, I followed a lead. I took one of the passport names and looked it up online. Jennifer Matthews showed up in hotel records, always in the same cities and dates as Abby's trips. Same check-in and check-out windows. This is where it got heavier. I started cross-referencing Abby's travel dates with news reports of suspicious deaths or accidents involving high-profile people. The correlation is terrifying. In 80% of her trips, someone died. Not just anyone. Always executives, politicians, lawyers, people with money and influence. I made a spreadsheet. I know, classic accountant move, but I needed to organize the data. Over the past 3 years, Abby traveled 47 times. In 38 of those trips, there was at least one suspicious death in the destination city during her stay. Statistically impossible to be coincidence. The worst part is, Abby hasn't changed her behavior at all. She's still the loving, caring wife who makes pancakes on Sunday and watches Netflix with me. She laughs at my bad jokes, helps me take care of Buddy, complains about my socks on the floor. How can someone be a professional killer and at the same time the most normal person in the world? I tried to find more clues, started paying attention to her phone calls. Abby always takes calls in another room, but once I caught fragments. She was talking about the target, window of opportunity, discrete method. When I asked, she said it was about a difficult recruitment strategy for a client. It made sense at the time. Then on Friday, something happened that terrified me. Abby was cooking dinner. I was on the couch watching TV. A news segment came on about a serial killer who had been caught in Oregon. From the kitchen, Abby casually commented, "Amateur, too sloppy, left way too much evidence." When I asked how she knew that, she said she'd seen a documentary about criminal investigations. That night, I couldn't sleep. I just lay there staring at Abby sleeping next to me. This woman I've loved for 6 years, with whom I plan to have kids and build a life. How is it possible she's a killer? And if it's true, how many people has she killed? Why does she do it? Money? Ideology? Just for the thrill? The scariest part is that Abby is too perfect. She never gets sick, never has PMS, never has an off day without a reason. She's always in control, always knows what to say, always has an answer for everything. Now I realize it might be training, not natural personality. Last night, Abby told me she's going to Boston next week. New client, complex restructuring project. I already looked it up. There's a biotech conference in Boston with several major CEOs attending. I'm terrified of what might happen. I don't know what to do. Call the police? And say what? Hey, my wife has fake passports and people die in cities she visits? They'll laugh in my face. Confront Abby directly? What if she realizes I know? Professional assassins don't leave witnesses, right? I've thought about packing up and disappearing, but what if she finds me? What if she already knows I suspect something? I'm sure she has skills I can't even imagine. Maybe she's already watching me. Maybe she's just waiting for the right moment. The craziest part is, I still love her, even with all these suspicions, even with the fear. When I look at Abby, I still see the woman who made me laugh in the Whole Foods aisle, who cried watching Marley and Me, who nursed me through pneumonia. How can you love someone who might be a killer? Has anyone ever gone through something like this? Not necessarily a killer, but discovering the person you love has a completely secret life. How did you handle it? I'm thinking of hiring a private investigator, but I'm afraid Abby would find out. She seems to have eyes in the back of her head for this kind of thing. I need advice because I'm losing my sanity. Every time Abby leaves the house, I wonder if she's going to kill someone. Every time she comes back, I look for signs she did something terrible. But she always returns like nothing happened. Sometimes even with gifts for me. The Boston trip is in 3 days. I don't know if I should try to stop her, follow her, or just ignore everything and pretend I never discovered any of this. But if she really is what I think she is and someone dies in Boston, how will I live with that? Comment. What would you do in this situation? If you liked this video, don't forget to like and share so we can bring you more stories like this. Keep an eye out for more stories. Hope you have a good day.